I got sent a Hamster from Out of Darts, and that's the name of this blaster here. It is a square blaster, which is something that I've only seen one other time, and it's from a Nerf blaster that I can't remember the name to, but this one feels a little more beefy, and we'll get into why as you watch this review of the Hamster. So again, thanks to Out of Darts for sending this over, because this is a type of blaster that I really like to look at, talk about, and even try out. And the reason I say that is because it is just different. It's kind of an oddball. I mean, when we think of foam dart blasters, you think of stuff that's like on my wall. There have been some crazy things here and there, but it's kind of fallen out of fashion. Like early Nerf stuff where you have like scorpions and, I mean, I guess there is the snake sniper from Roblox, but like it's few and far between. And when you have something like this that's semi-serious, because when we get into the actual operation of this, you'll see what I mean. But ultimately, this is something that you could fit in your pocket, fit in your coat, and it's a very slim profile, but also the power to back it up. So I've hinted at it, teased it a little bit. I think we're gonna fire this so you can kind of see exactly what I'm looking at. Now, Out of Darts also sent me some new worker darts, and we're gonna try that with this. You'll notice that down the barrel here, there are no dart posts. There are no dart posts, so anything that fits this half-length dart, full-length dart, three-quarter-length dart, I just tried that viral TikTok blaster not too long ago, we can do that. It will work in this. So we've got the half-length dart, I'm pushing as far back as it can go, and then we pull down on this O-ring handle, which I like this style handle. You can feel the draw pull on this is rather heavy. So if you're looking at this for, I don't know, like a silly little gimmick blaster, just know that you're gonna need some strength to operate this thing. So we are going to fire this. That feels so good. It has like a satisfying pop. The trigger distance does go back a ways, but I think that's good because if you're priming this blaster and you're not using very good trigger discipline, you could easily activate the thing and it would just kind of be a disaster. What I find is I put my hand underneath it because there is like this little retention here. And when I pull the opposite directions, I don't really have to worry about the handle. But we've got more darts over here. I've got an X-Shot dart. Let's put that in there. You can see like this goes far back. That's great. Let's go. Definite performance drop on that. I wonder if it's just because of the dart. Let's see, what other ones do I got here? I've got one of the Nitro Shot darts. This is for the new Dart Zone dart. It's got that really squishy tip on it. Fire this. Okay, that felt better than the X-Shot one. Now we have a Meteor dart. This is from Adventure Force. You know, Dart Zone, you gotta hand it to them. They like to name their darts. And as you can see, the Hamster is handling all of these darts without any sort of issue. Here's a Nerf Pro dart. This is from the Torrent. And let's get this going here. Wow, okay, that felt good too. The half-length darts are the way to go in this. I'm using a Nitro Shot Plus dart. This feels like it doesn't have a very good seal on it. I wonder what's gonna happen here. Wasn't bad. I feel like the other darts, the worker dart, the Nerf dart was much better than the Nitro Shot Plus dart. Just for funsies, I got a three-quarter length dart from that viral TikTok blaster a while ago. Those darts are not very well made. All right. Hamster handled it very well, and I think that's the story here, right? Like the Hamster, any dart that I was pulling from the table over here was handling it without any sort of issue. This is just a fun little guy. I really like the color behind it. I like how it's just different. I think the engineering behind it, right? You have to have like a rectangular plunger tube, which is something very non-standard. And having it all work in this form factor is cool. Now the other thing too that you'll notice is that down the sight, there is a bit of an iron sight. In fact, it probably looks a little better if I do it this way. And you can see, you can line up your shots to a degree with this. So it includes tactics. And there's some other little nice features. Along the bottom here, there is this spot where you could tie a little lanyard, a little rope, so that you could hang it off your belt loop, that you could tie it around, like a lanyard, and have it hanging from your neck. Very Jolt-like. And I think the closest comparison that I have to this would be the Dart Zone Solo. So let me grab one of those. So here we go. I've got my Dart Zone Solo over here. I've got the Hamster over here. There are there's a lot of differences here. So for starters, the Solo, it flips up. So this is like a more traditional Jolt. This is all contained. There's no flipping mechanism. It's like a solid unit. There's no gimmick as like the Solo has. The gimmick here is just that it is so tiny, it's so compact. without the need for any sort of that. And of course, the benefit of not having an extra piece is that there's not going to be a loss of transfer of power. So there is a connection point right here on the Solo where you have to meet up the barrel with this rubber gasket, which in theory forms a perfect seal and will then move all of the air out into the dart. When it comes to the Hamster, I think this green piece is what's telling. This is going to be able to bend the air into the tube, and that is everything that you need to know about it. There's just a lot less moving parts with something like this. So just how small is this thing? We saw it compared to the Solo, but like what about some other blasters that are, I don't know, I guess larger? So just so you can get an idea like what we're working with here. So here we have a Dart Zone Thunderbolt. Here's the Hamster. I guess the more accurate representation of this would be the magazine. Comes at about half the magazine length there. I don't have the 6-round magazine, but I do have the 18-round magazine, and again, we're about half the size. So you get an idea, based on some of the things that already exist out there, the size of blaster that we're working with. So to be clear, some of the things that I really like about this blaster is just its compact shape. It does a lot with just a little bit of a footprint. And that is the gimmick of being just a very compact, slim blaster. One of the things that I might have liked to have seen changed, and again, it's very hard because there's not a whole lot to this blaster to possibly even change, but if I were to change one thing, I think it would be just to make it slightly more compact, and the only way to do that, I think, would be to change this style of prime, which it's kind of funny that I'm saying that because I love this circle style. It's very strong, like it feels good to prime, but since we were working with a compact shape, the only way to slim it down would be to just, I don't know, have it be a T-pull, I guess? So when it comes to the Hamster, this is just a fun little thing. Like, this is a perfect stocking stuffer, I think. Like, if you're looking for just a little pack and present, for somebody who likes Nerf but is taking it a little more seriously, and wants something a little, like, out of the ordinary, I feel. Like, a product like this is what you would want to get. Which reminds me, I need to make a video on some of the best blasters that I've played with this year. This will probably make the list, to be honest, because, like, there's not a whole lot to say about it, which isn't a bad thing. It works as intended, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's versatile. With like the gimmick of just being tight and compact and just, it's like a cute blaster. You just want to squeeze it and it packs a punch. I think that's the surprising thing. You wouldn't think something like this would be as performant as it is, and it is. So I want to thank Out of Darts for sending that over to me to get a look at, and you can find it there. If you like that blaster, if you like that style blaster, check it out at Out of Darts. And if you like blasters, we just talked a lot about a very tiny blaster. If you like blasters too, you should definitely follow, subscribe. But even if you like action toys, collectibles, pop culture things, you can see that a lot of my studio is dedicated to that as well. And if all those things are cool to you, they're cool with me, and love to welcome you into the Ri-Fi community. Well, that's everything that I know about this tiny little hamster here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.